What's up, guys? Your boy Adam Divis here. I'm about to analyze the Liverpool and Burnley game. Let's get it. So, I watched this game in full. As you all know, the Liverpool historical record has finally been broken. Burnley has managed to defeat Liverpool at home 1-0 with a penalty by Barnes. Very complicated game. So, the lineups, first of all, I'm just going to say that for this video, I'm going to be focusing way more on Liverpool rather than Burnley. We all know how Burnley plays, 4-4-2, very classic lineup, classic team, narrow in defense, and just trying to hit it with the counterattacks, long balls. They got two good strikers, Wood and Barnes, try and get some headers. Nothing really changed about Burnley, so the main focus would be Liverpool. Liverpool lined up in a 4-3-3, Alisson in goal, Fabinho and Matip center backs, ordinary fullbacks, Arnold and Robertson, Thiago in the middle, Wijnaldum, and it says Chamberlain, but I believe Shaqiri was the one playing right center mid, and then Chamberlain right wing, Mane and Origi. Also, Origi was the striker and Mane was the left wing, even though on the lineup it said that Mane would be the striker. So yeah, that's the lineup. So, first off, it was a big surprise for everyone that Salah and Firmino didn't start the game. And I read this interesting stat that for the past 4 games that Salah and Firmino didn't start, 2 of them were against Burnley, and Liverpool managed to win both games. So I don't know if Klopp remembered that and he was like, oh, against Burnley I don't really need Salah and Firmino, hoping that he would get the win, even though Liverpool has been in a really tough position in this past 4 games since they haven't won a game and they haven't even managed to score a goal for the past 368 minutes, I believe, before this game. So now that even extended, and they managed to be the worst, to have the worst goal drought in the Premier League at the moment. Liverpool has the worst league drought, goal drought. Okay, so I thought that was, I believe one of the analysts said that would be insanity or genius. You don't do that. You don't do that in a game where your club isn't really in the best position. The players aren't comfortable. You want to start with your best players. You want to start with the players that give their teammates the most confidence. Salah and Firmino are obviously these players. Henderson is also one of these players. I think he's injured. I'm not sure why he didn't play. So it was obvious from the start it was going to be a rough game. So overall, Liverpool were clustered. They were lost in the sauce. No organization in defense, midfield, or attack. I think their best player throughout the game was Alisson. He made some crazy saves, even though he got the penalty, but I think it's okay. There was too much pressure on him. He was still making a bunch of saves. So the penalty went in, yes, but Liverpool should have conceded before that. So we should thank Alisson for what he did in the game as Liverpool fans, even though I'm not. I'm a Real Madrid fan. In the first half, Origi had 4 shots. Arnold had 3, Robertson had 1, Mane had 1. Liverpool had a total of 13 shots, while only 4 of them were on target. I think the Origi chance was the biggest miss. But come on, this is way too much shooting. Liverpool doesn't play like this. Liverpool is way more clinical than 13 shots, 4 on target. It was just a mess of a game. Every time they got a sniff of the goal, they wanted to shoot. They just wanted to get the ball inside the net in any way possible. And whenever the team is in that type of attitude, any team, when they're in that attitude, that type of mentality, you know that they're in a tough spot. It is not good. And look at what happened at the end of the first half. Fabinho got in a tussle with Barnes, I think it was, dropped him on the floor. Maybe it was to get back at him for what Barnes did for Thiago. But Barnes took a yellow for that, so Fabinho shouldn't get involved in these type of situations. And then Matip comes in with a random situation, I don't know, like praising him or just falling, mocking him. And then to get Barnes out, and then VAR was checking him for a red card, but there was no red card, thankfully. And then Klopp starts screaming at the Burnley coach. So all of this tells you that there's a lot of tension in the Liverpool dressing room. The players are starting to feel the pressure, and the coach, Jurgen Klopp, is feeling the most pressure, and his pressure is starting to transmit into his players. That is wrong. You don't do that. I think one of the best coaches that knows how to keep the pressure with him and not transmit it to his players might be Guardiola, but my favorite is always Mourinho. Mourinho would be in the most pressure, but he would make his players feel calm somehow, some way. Even though I thought Klopp would be good at that, I was surprised with what he did in this game. They lost at home. They broke the record that's been lasting since April 2017 against Crystal Palace. Unfortunate. By the way, I'm really sorry about the background. I just noticed that. So, yeah, let's do that. Just look at me. For this game, I was really excited to see Chamberlain starting. But Chamberlain did not perform, and I don't think it was Chamberlain's fault. It was actually Jurgen Klopp and kind of Shaqiri's fault, because Shaqiri was playing right center mid while Chamberlain was playing right wing, but they were both interchanging. Shaqiri would go on the right wing, Chamberlain would come back to the right center mid. Also in defense, they would line up in a 4-4-2. Shaqiri would be the right mid, Chamberlain next to him. Sometimes they would switch. There was too much changing going on. I think Chamberlain would have done a way better job with Salah as the right wing. But Jurgen Klopp decides to make two changes on the right side, where Arnold was already doing horrible. He's been doing horrible for a couple of games, and this game was just cherry on the top. Absolutely horrible in all shapes or forms. First half, he had 3 shots. What is he, an attacker? He can't have 3 shots. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. He should just calm. He was unbelievably not calm. The opposite of calm. The opposite of composed. Moving on. The Chamberlain and Shaqiri situation. Klopp should have not done that. You want to play Chamberlain? You play him as the right center mid with Salah on his right. We know where Chamberlain's best position is the channel between the left center back and the left back. That channel in the middle, Chamberlain kills it. He can move forward. He's fast. He's strong. Excellent shooting. We did not see that today. I think he had just 1 shot in the first half. We saw a glimpse of Chamberlain. I was excited to see him though, and I think rating-wise, they gave him the worst rating. I don't think that was his fault, to be honest. So Klopp did a mistake there by changing their right side a bit too much. And when you look at the heat map, Chamberlain and Shaqiri were literally in the same spot. They were in the same spot. They were in control of the same areas. There was no organization on the right side and in the attack. Mane started. Klopp believed in him to be the only attacker to start. Too bad though. He did not perform that well. Have to be honest. He was the calmest. We did not see the Mane. He did not play like he played with Firmino and Salah. He played in a more different way because he knew he was the most mature one. He was the most experienced one as a starter. So he wanted to transmit that confidence into his attacking players. But unfortunate for the team. Also, this was the first time that Shaqiri, Origi and Mane has started since the historical game. If you're a Liverpool fan or just a soccer fan in general, obviously you'd remember it against the comeback against Barcelona. 4-0. Crazy game. But we did not see that at all. Overall, Liverpool did not miss that many chances. Even the chances they missed, they were not organized, created by an actually organized passes, movements, positional play, high press. We did not see any of that. It was just a mess of a game for Liverpool. Similar to the game for Man U. Man U could have punished them last game. Man U could have beaten Liverpool last game if it wasn't for Alisson. At the end of the game, after Burnley got the penalty, we saw Liverpool just putting the ball inside the box. They just wanted a chance, any shape or form, and they did get one. They did get one, I believe. Robertson crossed it in the middle. Minamino and Salah came in together. None of them touched the ball. It went to Arnold on the right side. Arnold crosses it, and then Salah doesn't touch it, gets to Firmino, back heels it, but the defenders were there. And we saw that happen before. The misorganization in the attacking and midfield players. Shaqiri is playing right center mid, but he's moving as a right winger. Right when Salah came in, he does his... we all know what Salah's favorite 1-2 is. He puts the ball under his foot, looks at a striker, usually Mane or Firmino, passes it to him right in the middle. He goes from outside of the box. One of the players should lay it back to him, and Salah goes for a shot, or another one too, usually for a shot. He did that, and then when he came out for the box to receive the ball, Shaqiri was there and took the ball off him. Shaqiri, are you playing a right center mid? Are you playing a right wing? So you could say Shaqiri, Thiago and Wijnaldum, Klopp went for that trio in midfield again after the Man U game. I don't know what he liked about this trio. There is nothing that magnificent about that trio. I get that they're more passing oriented. They're better with the short, long passes than maybe the Henderson and Milner, who are more defensive oriented. But Henderson and Milner are way better at high press. Shaqiri and Thiago are better on the ball, yes, but they're lacking in many other areas. Forget about Thiago. Thiago is obviously different sauce. He's really, really good. But Shaqiri does not, in my opinion, does not work as a right center mid. He does not work. He moves as a right wing sometimes. He moves as an attacking midfielder. Maybe it's good for him, but he confuses the other players around him. So overall, let's just say that Liverpool deserved to lose. I really think so. This is a wake-up call for Klopp, Liverpool and their fans, that they're not invincible, that they're not crazy as they are, and they started to understand what really differentiates them from the other teams, which was their incredible high press, their fans in the Anfield. That's what made Anfield a crazy stadium, was their fans. And once they lose that, Liverpool's performance drops at least 20-30%. Liverpool as a club should start to acknowledge that. The players need to acknowledge that. They need to know that we need to work on a lot of things. And obviously, they need Van Dijk and Gomez back. They need center backs. Matip is Matip. Like, what can we say about Matip? Fabinho's not a center back. He's good to defend as a CDM. He needs to defend small spaces. But when he's a center back, you have a larger space to defend. And Fabinho's not the best at that, unfortunately. Arnold and Robertson. I think next game we should see Nico Williams play for Arnold. Just so Arnold sits on the bench. Maybe send him to the U23s for a bit. Do something with Arnold, because this is not the Arnold we know. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this. It would be great if you can like, comment, subscribe. As I said before, any type of feedback would be hugely appreciated. And thank you guys for tuning in.